Somali community leader is finally acknowledging what we've known for a long time, that Ilhan Omar did indeed marry her brother. Now, for those who don't know, Ilhan Omar is a congresswoman, a Democrat, radical leftist out of Minnesota. She's a member of the Squad. She's vehemently anti-Semitic, vehemently anti-American. She is Somalia first, Islam first, and there is no second. Okay, it's just those two things. That's her focus. The only reason she's in Congress is to serve her other two, her only two allegiances, and neither of those happen to be America. Article came out in the Daily Mail that exposes what her I guess former friend now has revealed to them about her. According to the article, Ilhan Omar told friends years ago that the man who went on to become her second husband was in fact her brother. Abdihakim Osman is the first person to go on record to speak of how Omar said she wanted to get her brother papers so he could stay in the United States. It has long been rumored that Omar and Ahmed Elmi are siblings, but because of a lack of paperwork in war-torn Somalia, proof has never been uncovered. Osman said, quote, "She said she needed to get papers for her brother to go to school. We all thought she was just getting papers to allow him to stay in the country." Omar was married to her second husband, Elmi, in 2009 by a Christian minister, even though they're Muslim. She was first married to Ahmed Hirsi in 2002 in a Muslim ceremony before they split in 2008, but she later had another child with... Can't make this up. She had another child with her first husband while she's allegedly married to her brother. Osman said when Hirsi, that's their first husband, and Ilhan got married, a lot of people were invited. It was a big Islamic wedding, uniting two large clans in the community. They say up to 150 people attended this wedding. But the second wedding, not so much. He said when she married Elmi, no one even knew about it. No one knew there had been a wedding until the media turned up the certificate years later. Why would that be? Unless you're just trying to hide it from everybody else. You want to pretend like, still having babies with my first husband, but the second guy who's totally not my brother, who appears to be possibly even homosexual. We'll get to that. We'll also get to the fact that it seems like there might be movement from the FBI. We'll see. Squad Congressman Ilhan Omar told friends years ago that, I'm not going to read this whole thing. I forgot. They're very long-winded. I like the Daily Mail sometimes, usually not, but sometimes I do like the Daily Mail. But they can definitely be long-winded. There's a picture, by the way, of Elmi. Okay, if you can see on the screen, yep, that looks like a guy that would be Ilhan Omar's brother. I mean, he looks just like her. It's just, looks just like him. All right. So let's skip ahead. Congressman doesn't vote. Where is it? Let's see. He was very feminine. This is talking about her brother / second husband. People began noticing that Ilhan and Southside, Hirsi, that's the first husband, were often with a very effeminate young guy. So he's hanging out with her. And keep in mind, her first husband, this guy supposedly like, man's man, footballer, as they say, very popular, very athletic. And then this feminine guy starts hanging out with him all of a sudden. Wonder why. People began noticing. He was very feminine in the way he dressed. He would wear light lipstick and pink clothes and very, very short shorts in the summer. People started whispering about him. Again, keep in mind, this is in a Muslim community where such things are not necessarily acknowledged or accepted. Don't even get me started. Hirsi, that's her first husband, and Ilhan both told me it was Ilhan's brother, and he had been living in London, but he was mixing with what were seen as bad influences, and the family did not like it. So they sent him to Minneapolis as rehab. Osman, that's the whistleblower, who runs a popular Facebook blog called Zerta Sheikh, which comments on Somali issues, said that Omar kept her marriage to Elmi quiet, with no one from the Somali community invited to the wedding. Very odd, again, considering that the first wedding was so big, so widely populated. The first report that Omar and her husband were siblings appeared on the website Somali Spot in 2016. It said of Elmi, 34, as soon as Ilhan Omar married him, he started university at her alma mater in North Dakota State University, where he graduated in 2012. Shortly thereafter, he moved to Minneapolis, where he was living in a public housing complex. Why wasn't he living with her? And was later evicted. He then returned to the United Kingdom. All sorts of weird. Very weird. The New York Post is the important part. The New York Post reported last month that FBI was investigating the marriage and had met with a source in Minneapolis who handed over a trove of documents related to the marriage. Any findings were to be shared with Immigration and Customs Enforcement and the U.S. Department of Education. The paper reported anyone found guilty of committing marriage fraud faces up to 5 years in jail and a fine of up to $250,000, and importantly, almost certainly, in this administration at least, a deportation. So what is the FBI waiting on? Do they need more evidence? Do they already have the evidence? Are they just waiting for Kash Patel? Would that not be an awesome thing for Kash Patel to be able to do on his first day as FBI director? To say, hey, we've done this investigation into Ilhan Omar. It turns out she married her brother. All those right-wing conspiracy theorists were correct. And so we've handed it over to Tom Holman. He's going to he's sending ICE to Minneapolis right now, and then she will be gone. Man. I know. I'm probably dreaming. Some loophole, something's going to happen. But then again, we've been seeing dreams coming true. Oftentimes, more often than not, ever since President Trump has returned to the Oval Office. I think there's a chance. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, feels like we might actually have a chance to finally bring Ilhan Omar to justice. You can not only find my work, but also my amazing sponsors by going to jdrucker.com/find, jdrucker.com/find. Scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see a list of people that support this show, that make this show possible. And you can get coffee or beef or crypto or whatever, and it will help to benefit this show, help to keep us on the air.